Hello everyone, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. My name is Vibhati and in today's session I'll discuss All India Test Series Grand Test Physics paper with you. So let's start with question number 1. Suppose force F, area A and time T are the fundamental units. Then match the following. Work with PQR, moment of inertia with PQR and velocity with PQR. So work is what? It is measured, if you talk about the work done by a constant force, it is Fs cos theta, right? So F is measured in Newton. Over here we need to consider one of the fundamental unit as force. S is measured in meter and area is measured in meter square. So basically meter is area to the power 1 by 2. So it is force into area to the power 1 by 2. F into area to the power 1 by 2. So work is matched with Q. Moment of inertia is mr square. M is mass. R square is your meter square. So it will be having area. So if you look at the unit of force, it is kilogram meter per second square, right? So F second square upon meter will give you what? Kilogram, right? So force is force, S square is T square and meter will be your area to the power 1 by 2. So basically this is the representation of mass in terms of F, T and A. So let's put it here. So it will be F T square A to the power 1 by 2 in division into R square will be A. So it is F A to the power 1 by 2 into T square. So moment of inertia is matched with R. Velocity is meter per second. Meter is area to the power 1 by 2 and per second is time inverse, right? So C is matched with P. So we have correct answer as A, Q, B, R, C, P, which is option 2. Next is, a particle is moving with uniform acceleration, then during an interval of time, which of the following statement is /r correct? Average velocity of the particle is always less than its final velocity? No. Okay, average velocity of the particle is always less than its final velocity? No. It might be true, it might not be true, it is not always true. Average velocity of the particle never be greater than its final velocity? No, it can be greater. Average velocity of the particle may be 0. Yes, average velocity of the particle may be 0 if total displacement of the particle is 0. Average velocity of the particle is half its final velocity. No, it is not always true, right? So correct answer is option 3. Okay. Now, next is question number 3. The acceleration of a particle as seen from two frames S1 and S2 have equal magnitudes of 4 meter per second square. Okay, read this question carefully, beta. If there are two frames S1 and S2, then acceleration of the particle as seen from two frames is S1 and S2 is 4 meter per second square. This is magnitude, direction is not mentioned. We need to identify the correct statement over here. The frames must be at rest with respect to each other. Okay. The frames may be moving with respect to each other, but neither should be accelerated with respect to each other. Okay. Third statement is the acceleration of S2 with respect to S1 may be either 0 or 8 meter per second square. And the fourth statement is acceleration of S2 with respect to S1 may have any value between 0 and 8 meter per second square. So acceleration of the particle with respect to S1 is having magnitude 4. Acceleration of the particle with respect to S2 is having magnitude 4. Okay, direction is not given. Now, if you want to write it like this is acceleration of particle minus acceleration of S1 and this is acceleration of particle minus acceleration of S2. Okay, acceleration of particle with respect to frame is acceleration of particle minus acceleration of S1 and acceleration of particle with respect to S2 is AP minus AS2. Now if you want to find the acceleration of S2 with respect to S1, so it will be A S2 minus A S1. So you will get this by subtracting this value with this value. So this is AP S1 minus AP S2 is having value, right? Okay. So over here this is vector subtraction. Okay, this is a vector subtraction. You cannot write it 4 minus 4 is equals to 0, right? Because we need to take care of the direction also. So if you subtract two vectors, then vector subtraction has magnitude under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos minus 2ab, sorry, this is minus 2ab cos theta, right? So over here beta, this theta is not given. It can be anything between 0 and 180 degree, right? So if theta is 0 degree, right, theta is 0 degree, then subtraction is very simple, 4 minus 4 0, and if theta is 180 degree, subtraction will be 4 plus 4 8 meter per second square. So with the change in the value of theta, this value will change, right? So it will be having its minimum value as 0 and maximum value as 8. So the acceleration of S2 with respect to S1 will vary between 0 to 8 meter per second square, which is option 4. Next is work done by conservative forces on a system is equal to. We learn this thing as work potential energy theorem, right? So work done by conservative forces on a system is equal to minus of change in potential energy of the system. So correct answer is option 4. Next question, two physicists both of mass 50 kg climb up identical ropes suspended from the ceiling of a gymnasium. Okay, the ropes are 15 meter long. Physicist 1 reaches the top twice as quickly as physicist 2 does. After physicist 2 also reaches top, they argue about who did more work against gravity. No one did slip during climb. There's no slipping. Okay, fine. So over here mass is same, both are climbing the same displacement against the gravity. Okay, but physicist 1 is taking less time and physicist 2 is taking more time, right? So work done against the gravity will be mgh. Okay, but time is different, so power will be different. Power is work upon time, right? So work done will be same against the gravity. Physicist 1 says that I did more work fighting gravity because I was overcoming gravity more quickly. Okay, your climb was lazier and therefore you did less work, right? This was the argument presented by the physicist 1. Now according to physicist 2, he says that no way, I did more work fighting gravity because I spend more time climbing the rope. I spend more time, that means I should do more work. Since we both ended up at the same height but I spent more time getting there, I had to work harder, right? So physicist 1 says I did more work, physicist 2 says I did more work. Okay, so we need to find the correct statement according to that. Physicist 1 did more work against friction, physicist 2 did more work against gravity. The work done by friction on both the physicists same and non-zero. The work done by friction on both the physicists is 0. So see, there's no less and more work against the gravity. It will be mgh, both these three values are same for 1 and 2, so they did the same work against the gravity. Power might be different but work done is same, right? And there's no slipping during the climb, so work done by friction on the physicist will be 0. Okay, so correct answer is option 4. Next is, in an elastic collision between two bodies, we are talking about elastic collision between two bodies, they will exchange their velocities if their masses are equal. Okay, but what about the nature of the collision? Is it head on? Is it oblique? It is not given here, so we cannot comment on that. Both may maintain their same velocities if their masses are equal. No, it is not, necessary that if they have same masses, their velocities will be same. The kinetic energy of the system will be conserved throughout collision. Kinetic energy before and after the collision will be conserved. Okay, they may not exchange their velocities even though they have same masses. Yes, they may not exchange the velocities even though they have the same masses, depends the nature of the collision, right? So correct answer is option 4. Next is, a plank with uniform sphere placed on it is resting on a smooth horizontal plane. Plank is pulled to the right by a constant force F over here. If the sphere does not slip over the plank, which of the following is incorrect? Okay. So acceleration of the center of sphere is less than that of the plank. Okay, acceleration of the center of sphere is less than that of the plank. Yeah, because both are experiencing over here same force, not same force, this is F, this is smooth. So plank will experience friction force in the backward direction, this will experience friction force in the forward direction. So over here net force will be F minus F divided by mass, and over here F upon divided by mass of the sphere will provide you acceleration. Work done by friction acting on the sphere is equal to its total kinetic energy. Yes, initially it was at rest. So work done by friction will change its kinetic energy, right, according to work energy theorem. The change in kinetic energy of the system is equals to work done by the force F. Okay, that is also true, because if you consider this as system, then work done by the static friction will be 0, right. So work done by this force F is equal to change in kinetic energy of the system. Work done by friction on sphere is 0. No, friction is doing work. That is why friction, because of the work done by the friction, the sphere is moving forward with the plank, right. So over here incorrect statement is 4. Incorrect statement is 4. Next is, a uniform cylinder of mass m and radius r rolls without slipping down a slope of angle theta with the horizontal. The cylinder is connected to a spring of force constant K, okay, at the center, the other side of which is connected to a fixed support at A. Other side of the spring is connected here at A. The cylinder is released when the spring is unstretched. When the spring is unstretched, we are releasing the cylinder till it comes to a momentary rest for the first time. The force of friction on the cylinder is. So over here, we need to find the direction of force of friction on the cylinder. So if you draw FBD after releasing the cylinder, mg sin theta will act in this direction and kx will act in this direction. So as the cylinder is rolling down, the value of kx will increase because the stretch in the spring will increase, right. So over here, once mg sin theta, once you release this thing, mg sin theta will be lesser than kx, sorry, more than kx. mg sin theta will be more than kx because x is very small as of now, just after the release. So the tendency of the cylinder to move is in downward direction, so friction will be in upward direction. Now at the equilibrium position beta, kx will be balanced by mg sin theta. At some extension x naught, kx naught will be balanced by mg sin theta. And after that, if you further increase the extension in the spring, kx will be more than mg sin theta. So now net force is in the upward direction. The sliding tendency of the block will be in, cylinder will be in upward direction. So direction of friction will be in downward, right. So initially it is upward and then becomes downwards. So correct answer is option 3. Correct answer is option 3. Next is this one. In nuclear reactor, fast neutrons can easily be slowed down by using a lead shielding, passing them through heavy water. When you pass neutrons, fast moving neutrons into heavy water, they can be slowed down and you can use them for fission, right. So correct answer is option 2, passing them through heavy water. Next is assertion reason. Earth has an atmosphere but the moon does not. It is true. Moon is small in comparison to Earth. That is also true, but it doesn't explain why moon has no atmosphere, right. So assertion and reason are true, but reason is not correct explanation of assertion. So correct answer is option 1. Next is the electric field at a point. The electric field at a point is always continuous. Not true. It depends. If there is any charge, then it will converge or diverge, right? So it is not always continuous. Continuous if there is no charge at that point. True. Discontinuous only if there is a negative charge. No, it will be discontinuous if there is positive charge also, right? So correct answer is option 2. Next is during a negative beta decay. During the negative beta decay, what happens? Neutron converts itself into proton and electron and anti-neutrino, right? So the proton will be inside the nucleus and electron will be emitted by the nucleus. So correct answer is option 3. Next is NPN transistor conducts. So this is NPN transistor. So this is emitter base collector NPN. So emitter base should be in forward bias. So N type is connected to a negative terminal, P type should be connected to positive terminal over here. So collector, emitter is at a negative potential as compared to base, and over here collector should be in reverse bias, right? Collector base junction should be in reverse bias. So this P type should be connected to negative terminal and N type should be connected to positive terminal over here. So collector is positive, whereas emitter is negative with respect to base. Collector is positive, emitter is negative with respect to base. So correct answer is option 2. Okay. Alright, next is this one. A vertical capillary is brought in contact with the water surface and surface tension is T. The radius of the capillary is R and the contact angle is 0 degree. The increase in potential energy of the water is, so over here work done in increasing the height of the center of mass will convert into its increase in potential energy, right? So height is 2t cos theta divided by rho gr. So theta is 0 degree, so it is 2t upon rho gr. Okay. Now force will be surface tension into 2 pi r. So over here force is surface tension into L, right? So it is surface tension into 2 pi r is L. So over here work done in increasing the height of the center of mass. So this is the total height gain. So center of mass will gain h by 2 height. So work done will be F into h by 2. So it is T into 2 pi r into h by 2 is T into rho g r. So r cancel. So you can see that it is 2 pi t square upon rho g, right? So it is dependent on density. No, yes, it is dependent on density. So independent of density is wrong. It is independent of r, true. It is independent of tension. No, it is dependent on tension square. It is not 0. So correct answer is option 2. Next is assertion. The viscosity of liquid increases with rise of temperature. No, it is the other way around. Viscosity of liquid decreases with rise of temperature. So this is false. Viscosity of the liquid is the property of the liquid by virtue of which it opposes the relative motion amongst its different layers. Yes, this is the definition of viscosity, right? So this is true. So assertion is false and reason is true. So correct answer is option 3. Next is the human circulatory system can be thought of as a closed system of interconnecting pipes, okay, through which fluid is continuously circulated by 2 pumps. The 2 pumps, the right and left ventricles of the heart, work as simple 2-stroke force pumps. The muscles of the heart regulate the force by contracting and relaxing. By contracting and by relaxing, they regulate the force, and that is how the blood flow works. The contraction, we call it systole, lasts about 0.2 second, and the complete systole, diastole, contraction and relaxation cycle lasts about 0.8 second. So contraction is related to systole and relaxation is related to diastole. Okay, for blood pressure and speeds in the normal range, the volume flow rate of blood through a blood vessel is directly proportional to the pressure difference over a length of the vessel and the fourth power of the radius of the vessel. Okay. The total mechanical energy per unit volume of blood just as it leaves the heart is rho gh plus p plus half rho v square, right, and density of the blood is given this much. Now look at the question. Why is diastolic blood pressure much lower than systolic pressure, right, and systolic slash diastolic reading in millimeter of Hg is 120 upon 80. This is what we call normal blood pressure, normal BP, right? Because the heart exerts more force on the blood during diastole. Diastole is related to relaxation cycle of the blood. In that case, in the diastole cycle, the heart will open all of its chambers so that blood can flow easily, right? So basically in diastole cycle, heart exerts no force on the blood. That is why the blood pressure in that is less as compared to systole. Okay. So correct answer is option 2. Now next is quality of sound produced by an open organ pipe is better than closed pipe. Yes, open organ pipe's quality sound is better than closed organ pipe. Why? Because open organ pipe produces all the harmonics, but closed organ pipe produces only odd harmonics, right? So both assertion and reasons are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So correct answer is 4. Okay, correct answer is 4. Now next is this one, choose the wrong statement. The peak voltage across the inductor can be greater than the voltage of the source in an LCR circuit. Okay. In a circuit containing a capacitor and an AC source, the current is 0 at the instant the source voltage is maximum. Okay. An AC source is connected to a capacitor. The RMS current in the circuit gets increased if a dielectric slab is inserted into the capacitor. Yeah. At resonance of LCR series circuit with AC reading of voltage meter across all individual elements will be same. No. At resonance, we have VL is equals to VC, right, and VL minus VC is 0, and the total potential difference is seen across the resistance over here. So correct answer is option 4. Correct answer is option 4. Okay. Next is real image is formed by a convex lens. We have a convex lens. Let's say its focal length is f1 and it is forming a real image. Then it is put in contact with the concave lens. We are putting it with the concave lens over here. Then again real image is formed. That means the effective focal length of this system is coming out as positive, right? The image will be shift towards the lens system, shift away from the lens system, remain its in original position, shift to infinity. So over here, if you are just using this lens, you will get a real image, but if you are using combination of two lenses, the focal length will change, and over here the focal length will increase because we are combining one concave lens with it, right? So focal length will increase. So basically, if earlier the focal length is this much, now it is here. So if it is the location of the object, now the location of the object, we are keeping the location of the object same, but focus is shifting, right? Focus is shifting over here, right? Focus is shifting. So because of that, the value of u from this effective system will decrease, and because of that, the image will move away from the lens system. It will shift away from the lens system. As you bring closer, the image will move farther, right? So correct answer is option 2. Next is, two circular coils A and B are facing each other as shown in the figure. the current through A can be altered, there will be repulsion between A and B if I is increased. So, this is A coil, okay, and this is the direction of current in A coil, and near to it we are keeping B coil. So, if you look at the direction of magnetic field, current is flowing like this, current is flowing like this, right. So, over here direction of magnetic field will be like this, okay. So, this is the magnetic field generated by coil A, okay. Now, over here the if we change the current I, if we increase the current I, the value of magnetic field will also increase. So, flux through this coil is increasing in this direction. So, according to Lenz's law, it will try to decrease this increasing flux by creating one more magnetic field, by inducing current inside it, and by creating one more magnetic field which will oppose this increasing field, right. So, over here in order to get this opposite magnetic field, current should flow in the opposite direction like this, okay. So, this will be the induced magnetic field direction. So, over here you can see that in A coil current is flowing like this. If you imagine one coil in front of you, current is in clockwise sense, in B coil current is flowing in the anti-clockwise sense like this. So, if the direction of current is opposite, these two coils will repel one another. So, there will be repulsion, between A and B if I is increased. Next is, the correct statements among the following is, EM waves having wavelength 700 nanometer to 1 millimeter relates to magnetron valve. No, this is false. EM waves having wavelength 1 millimeter to 400 nanometer relates to inner shell electrons in atoms moving one energy to another energy level, lower energy level. This is true. Okay, EM waves having wavelength less than 10 power minus 3 nanometer relates to radioactive decay. That is also true. And EM waves having wavelength 1 millimeter to 0.1 meter relates the magnetron valve. This is true, right. So, correct answer is 2, 3 and 4. Next is this one, the correct statements among the following. Long distance communication between 2 points on earth is achieved by sky wave communication. Yes, that is the purpose of sky wave communication. Range of frequencies allotted for mobile to base station communication is 896 to 901 megahertz. True. Range of frequencies for commercial FM radio broadcast is 88 to 108 gigahertz. No. In amplitude modulation, power of upper sideband is more than lower sideband. No, false. So, only correct answer is 1 and 2. Next is this one. A proton enters in a uniform electric and magnetic fields E and B respectively. Velocity of the proton is v vector. All the three vectors are mutually perpendicular. A proton is deflected along positive x-axis. When either of the fields or both the fields are switched on simultaneously, which of the following statements are correct? V may be along positive y-axis. So, if V is along positive y-axis and it is deflected along positive x-axis over here, it is deflected along positive x-axis, that means the direction of force on it is in this direction, right. So, if V is along positive y-axis and if I assume my B vector along positive z-axis, then using V cross B, direction of force is coming out as positive x, right. So, E can be also in this direction and B can be also in positive y direction. So, yeah, if V may be along positive y-axis, then deflection along x is possible. E is along positive x-axis, then deflection of along x-axis is possible if B is also there. B may be along positive z-axis, yes, and B may be along negative y-axis. B may be along negative y-axis, it is also true, okay, right. So, if B is along negative y-axis, it will not exert any force because velocity and magnetic field are anti-parallel, but this electric field which is switched on along positive x-axis will deflect this proton in positive x direction. So, all the options are possible. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 are your correct answers. Next is this one. a charged particle is projected in a plane perpendicular to a uniform magnetic field, the areal velocity of the particle is, that is area swept per unit time. So velocity radius is what? It is kinetic energy momentum, okay, P upon QB, or it is under root 2 mk upon QB, or it is mv upon QB of a particle performing circular motion in uniform magnetic field. So area swept per unit time will be pi r square into t. So it is pi, I am putting value of r this much, 2 mk upon q square into b square. So it is directly proportional to the kinetic energy of the particle. It is directly proportional to the momentum. No, it is directly proportional to the square of the momentum of the particle. Inversely proportional to magnetic field strength, yes, and it is inversely proportional to charge on the particle, yes. So correct answer are 1, 3 and 4. Next is, which of the following is our incorrect statements? Electric field is always conservative. Magnetic field lines of force are closed loops. If electric flux through an imaginary closed surface is 0, then electric field on the surface will be 0. Electric field lines are always open curves. So, electric field is not always conservative. Okay. So, this is incorrect. Magnetic field lines of the force are always closed loop, true. Electric flux through an imaginary closed surface is 0, it does not mean that the charge is absent. If charge is there, but net charge is 0 inside the closed surface, so electric flux will be 0, but electric field will not be 0, right. So, this is also incorrect. Electric field lines are always open curves, incorrect. So, correct options are 1, 3 and 4. Next is, during the melting of a slab of ice at 273 Kelvin at atmospheric pressure, positive work is done by the ice water system. As ice converts into water, what happens? Volume decreases, right. So, negative work is done by the ice water system. Negative work is done by the ice water system. The internal energy of the ice water system increases, right, because on slight increase in temperature, the ice will start melting in water at constant temperature of 0 degree Celsius. So, the internal energy of the ice water increases. So, correct answers are 2 and 3. Next is, in simple harmonic motion, potential energy and kinetic energy may not be equal in mean position. Yes, potential energy and kinetic energy may not be equal at mean position, right. Kinetic may be more, potential may be less. Potential energy and kinetic energy may be equal in extreme position. Yes, over here potential and kinetic both can be 0 if we have negative potential energy at mean position. Potential energy may be 0 at extreme position. Yes, that is also true. Kinetic energy plus potential energy oscillates simple harmonically. No, in SHM kinetic energy plus potential remains constant, half Ka square. So, it does not oscillate simple harmonically, its value is constant. So, correct answer is 1, 2 and 3. Next is, in a circular concentric hole, if a circular concentric hole is made on a disc, then about an axis passing through the center of the disc and perpendicular to the plane, moment of inertia decreases because we are decreasing the mass, right. If moment of inertia decreases, radius of gyration increases. Okay. So, correct answer is 1 and 3. Next is, the dominant mechanisms for motion of charge carriers in forward and reverse bias silicon PN junctions are. So, for forward bias, diffusion current is main, and for reverse bias, drift current is there, right. So, diffusion in forward and drift in reverse. So, correct answer is option 2. Next is, a beam of electron is used in an electron bidiacy experiment. The slit width is d. When the velocity of electron is increased, then no interference will occur, fringe width increases, fringe width decreases, fringe width remains constant. So, over here electron will show wave nature. So, de Broglie wavelength is h upon mv. So, lambda is inversely proportional to velocity. If you increase the velocity, lambda decreases, right. If you increase the velocity, lambda decreases. So, fringe width is directly proportional to lambda, So if lambda decreases, fringe width also decreases. So correct answer is option 3.
Welcome to the video solution of Grand Test number 1 Chemistry section. I am Nitin Verma, a chemistry faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. So let's get started with the solution. The first question was the dispersed phase in colloidal iron third hydroxide and colloidal gold are positive and negatively charged respectively. That means this colloid is positively charged and gold is negatively charged. Which of the following statements is not correct? Mixing both solutions causes coagulation. Yes, it's called mutual coagulation. That will happen. So this is correct. Coagulation in both salts can be brought about by electrophoresis. Yes, electrophoresis is one of the methods which you use for the coagulation of colloids. That is also correct. Barium chloride has more coagulating power towards iron third hydroxide colloidal solution than the gold colloidal solution. Now let us look at it. This colloid is positive charge, so it needs anion for coagulation, which is chloride, right, in barium chloride. Gold is negatively charged solution, so of course it needs the oppositely charged ion, that is cation for coagulation, barium 2+. That means now we know that Hardy-Schulze rule says that greater the charge on the flocculating ion, greater the coagulating power. So because barium 2+ has higher charge than chloride ion, so barium chloride is a better coagulating agent for gold and not for ferric hydroxide. So this statement is incorrect, right? Because it says barium chloride has more coagulating power towards, no, it has more coagulating power towards gold. So that is a correct answer. Addition of NaCl causes coagulation in both colloidal solution. Yes, because each electrolyte contains a cation and anion. That means any electrolyte has the ability to coagulate both types of colloids. Moving to the next question. For this, the correct answer is option 2. How? Let's see. Activated charcoal adsorbs gas X more efficiently than gas Y. That means the attractive forces are more in gas X. Now remember that the ease of liquefaction, critical temperature, attractive forces, and the van der Waals constant A, they all are directly proportional to each other. That means a gas which has higher value of van der Waals constant A, it has stronger attractive forces, it would be having higher critical temperature as compared to the other gas, and it would be easy to liquefy. So now you can check van der Waals constant A value is high for gas X than Y. Yes, because X can be more efficiently adsorbed, right? It has a stronger attractive forces, so it has to have higher value of the van der Waals gas constant, right? A. Critical temperature of gas X is higher than gas Y, not lower. Under similar conditions, gas Y is more compressible than gas X? No, because X has more intermolecular forces, X is more compressible than Y. And finally, gas Y is easily liquefiable than gas X? No, because gas X has higher critical temperature, greater value of A, so it will be more easily liquefiable. So the correct statement is option 2. Now, the next question, with increase in atomic number, the energies of the orbitals in same subshell decreases due to increase in effective nuclear charge. Correct statement. As the atomic number increases, the electron becomes more tightly bound, stability increases, energy decreases. In an atom, the effective nuclear charge experienced by the electron in different orbitals is 3d more than 3p more than 3s. Now that is not true, because as the electron is closest to the nucleus, it experiences greater effective nuclear charge compared to p electron, which is farther from the nucleus, and same goes for d electron. So the correct answer to this question is option 3. Assertion is correct, reason is wrong. D plus glucose, it reacts with acetyl chloride and it gives glucose pentacetate, which is basically this, right? We have 5 ester linkages here. Now remember that the pentacetate of glucose, it does not react with phenylhydrazine and hydroxylamine. That is, it does not form the hydrazone derivative as well as the oxime derivative, right? So the option is it will react neither with phenylhydrazine nor with hydroxylamine. It will still give Tollens test and Felling's test, right? Which indicates correct order for the given property. Density in group 2 elements is least for calcium, so this order is wrong. Melting point decreases down the group, so this order is incorrect, right? Fluorides have higher melting point, yes, because of higher lattice enthalpy than chloride, and bromide and iodide have the least lattice enthalpy, so least melting point in that case. So this order is correct, this is the correct answer. As regards the carbonates of group 2, because of the cation anion stabilization down the group, the solubility in water decreases. So actually barium carbonate has the minimum solubility. So that is also incorrect. The correct order of spin-only magnetic moment. Spin-only magnetic moment is because of the unpaired electrons. So we just have to count the number of unpaired electrons, right? So let us look at that. Iron is 3d6 4s2, and in FeCN6 4 minus, iron is 2 plus. You can calculate the oxidation number, so which makes iron 3d6. Now cyanide is a strong field ligand. It can cause pairing of d electrons. So what happens basically in this hexacyanoferrite is that the d electrons are paired up, right? The 6 d electrons are forced into the 3d orbitals, so leaving 2 d orbitals available for hybridization. So it has 0 unpaired electrons. Let us mark it here. It has 0 unpaired electrons. Minimum magnetic moment. Oh, that gives our answer, this one, right? Because it has 0 unpaired electrons, so that has a minimum magnetic moment. Let us verify the other one. Manganese is 3d5 4s2, and this is manganese 2 plus, so we have 3d5 4s0. Because chloride is a weak field ligand, it cannot cause pairing of d electrons, which means MnCl4 2 minus has 5 unpaired electrons, right? So it has the magnetic moment corresponding to 5 unpaired electrons. Cobalt is 3d7 4s2, right? And here the oxidation number is +2 again, which gives 3d7. Chloride is a weak field ligand, it cannot cause pairing of electron, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so it has the magnetic moment corresponding to 3 unpaired electrons. So yes, the option is correct, fourth option is correct, right? 5 unpaired electrons, 3 unpaired electrons, 0 unpaired electrons. Here we have a phenolic moiety and an alcohol, right? We react with thionyl chloride, SoCl2, so phenol will not be substituted. SoCl2 will replace this OH by Cl, right? Now see carefully, this is haloalkane CH2Cl, and this is alcohol, so this is again nucleophilic substitution reaction. The oxygen atom of methanol attacks here, chloride leaves, right, and eventually it gives you CH2O and then CH3, that is, it gives ether. All right, so now you can find out which is the correct option. Of course, first is the correct option. The phenolic portion will not react, right, via this nucleophilic substitution, and we will get ether. All right. In this, a very simple question from metallurgy, vapor phase refining. So which of these compounds can you identify with vapor phase refining? Of course, tetracarbonyl nickel, a method used for the refining of nickel metal. So A matches with second. So option first and third are eliminated. Now we can match B, right? Because okay, B is fourth, third first. So we can match C. Leaching. Okay, which of the following compounds can you associate with leaching? Of course, this. It is, this compound is formed when alumina is bauxite is reacted with concentrated sodium hydroxide. So we get sodium tetrahydroxoaluminate, right? So C matches with first, which makes option 4 the correct answer, right? So B matches with fourth. You can see that Froth flotation process is used for sulfide ores, and D matches with third. Calcination is used for this, right? In this case, major products, the P and Q, can be best distinguished by which of the following reagents? Sodium metal, right? Acid, so basically they are trying to do the esterification maybe. CrO3, chromic anhydride, a moderately strong oxidizing agent. Concentrated H2SO4 and heat, maybe like dehydration. Let's check. So this is an alkene and this is H3O plus, that is acid catalyzed hydration, right? We are not heating, we have the alkene and water. So this is Markovnikov addition, right, via carbocation formation. So this will give an alcohol in Markovnikov manner. So this is the product P, right, a tertiary alcohol which is formed via the more stable carbocation. This is BH3THF, right, hydroboration oxidation, which occurs as per anti-Markovnikov rule, right, that is anti-Markovnikov addition. So here we will get a secondary alcohol, that is OH will attach here and H will attach here, anti-Markovnikov manner. This is our Q. Now you can notice it very clearly that this is a tertiary alcohol and this is a secondary alcohol. Tertiary alcohols cannot be oxidized because we do not have a hydrogen bonded to carbon, but secondary alcohols can be readily oxidized to the corresponding ketone. So if I take a moderately strong oxidizing agent, then this can be oxidized to this, right? And we know chromic anhydride is a moderately strong oxidizing agent. So the correct answer to this question is CrO3, option 3. In this question, it's based on equilibrium. For gaseous reversible reaction, A is in equilibrium with 2B. So we can notice that the concentration of reactant decreases with time and the product increases. That means we are approaching the equilibrium from the forward direction. At this point, equilibrium is attained, right? The system remains undisturbed until this point. At that point, after 10 minutes, right? At that point, we make some change which results in drop of the partial pressure of A, or maybe the concentration of A and the concentration of B, right? We do something and the concentration of A and B both decreases. But then, as per Le-Chatelier principle, the system will again try to attain the equilibrium. So the concentration of A further decreases, whereas the concentration of B increases. That means when the system is perturbed, when the system is disturbed, equilibrium moves in the forward direction. So the correct answer to this question is this, right? Inert gas was added to the vessel at constant temperature and pressure. So basically, ideal gas equation behavior we will assume if temperature is constant, pressure is constant, you are adding in inert gas, so total volume will increase, right? Okay. Volume will increase, that means the partial pressures of A and B, they will decrease, right? The partial pressure or hence the concentration of the reactant product will decrease. Yes, this is in congruence with the graph. Then what happens? Because the addition of inert gas has resulted in decrease of the concentration or pressure of the reactant and product. Now the system will try to again increase the pressure because we increase the volume, right? By addition of inert gas, system will try to again increase the number of particles, which can only be achieved if the net reaction occurs in the forward direction. So yes, so A, the concentration of A will further decrease and that of B will increase. So the correct answer to this question is option 3. In this, first reaction is HCN. So this is a cyanohydrin formation, which is basically CH3CH2, C, OH, and then Cn, CH3, right? When you are heating it with concentrated H2SO4, two reactions will occur simultaneously. Cyanide will be hydrolyzed, right, to carboxylic. We know that, right? Cyanide will be hydrolyzed to carboxylic, and there is alcohol. It will undergo dehydration, right? Alpha beta. So this will give you a alkene like that, right? Hydrolysis, that will give us. Now free radical polymerization. Of course, this is an alkene. It will undergo free polymerization. How? This pi bond will break. It will join to another molecule, and this carbon will join to another molecule, right? That is how the chain will propagate. So basically, this is CH, CH3, right? And then C, and then CH3, and then COH, right? So there was a pi bond which breaks, and these attach with a molecule on the left, this on the right. So that is the repeating unit we get in the polymer, right? So obviously the correct answer is option 1. Hydrogen peroxide can be used as antiseptic as well as bleaching agent. Yes, because of its oxidizing property. Hydrates of group 13 are Lewis acids. Yes, because they're electron deficient. For example, BH3, 6 valence electrons, and that of group 15 are Lewis bases. Yes, for example, ammonia, they act as electron pair donors because the central atom has a lone pair. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. The correct order for the wavelength of absorption in the visible region. So guys, what is the logic here? The metal is same, nickel. The type of complex is same, octahedral. The oxidation number of the metal is same, 2+. So what is changing? The ligand strength. Now remember, greater the strength of ligand, right, greater is the crystal field splitting energy, right? And Planck's theory says that E is equal to Hc by lambda. right? So greater the strength of ligand, greater the crystal field splitting, but greater the crystal field splitting, lower the wavelength. So can I say that wavelength of absorption is inversely proportional to the ligand strength? Now here NO2 minus, NH3 and water. Yes, we know that in general nitrogen donors are stronger ligands than oxygen donors, so water is a weak field ligand. Then these, because water is weak field ligand, its CFSE is least, its wavelength should be maximum. So that gives us the correct answer, right? Option 1. And out of these two, NO2 minus is a stronger ligand, so it will have higher CFSE and hence lower wavelength. So option 1 confirms with that concept. Which of the following is correct? A liquid with low vapor pressure will have a low surface tension. So vapor pressure is low, that means attractive forces are high, right? Attractive forces are high, particles are not able to escape to the vapor phase, leading to low vapor pressure. But if attractive forces are high, surface tension will not be low, because surface tension is the inward pull, right, that the surface molecules experience in any fluid. A liquid with high vapor pressure will have high intermolecular forces. No, if the vapor pressure is high, more number of molecules are escaping, which means the attractive forces are low. So this is also incorrect. A liquid with low vapor pressure will have high surface tension and high boiling point. True, if low vapor pressure is low, attractive forces are high, surface tension is high. Attractive forces are high, that means more energy is required to separate the molecules, which means higher boiling point. So this is the correct answer. Low vapor pressure will have high surface tension and low boiling point. Of course, this is incorrect. Okay, so a question from organic chemistry, reduction and a couple of other reactions. So this compound contains a ketone and a carboxylic acid, right? So X, that is the first reaction, lithium aluminum hydride. So guys, lithium aluminum hydride is a strong reducing agent. It reduces ketone as well as carboxylic acid. Both will be reduced to alcohol, ketone to secondary alcohol and carboxylic acid to primary alcohol. So let us see what do we get. So this is OH and this is CH2OH. This is the product. Now because the medium is acidic and we are heating also, so you might recall that if we are having two OH groups, that is two alcohols, then on dehydration at low temperature they can lead to the formation of ether, right? So basically what happens, because medium is acidic and secondary alcohol will form more stable carbocation, so we can assume that first it undergoes protonation, right? Protonation leads to this OH2, a very good leaving group. It leaves the molecule leading to a positive charge here, and then this oxygen makes a nucleophilic attack here. So basically ring closure we have, right? So it's a 6-membered ring. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 atoms are there. We know that it is going to be ether, right? So these two options are ruled out. Of course, that is a product, but anyway confirm, right? Yes, one oxygen, then 1, 2, 3, 4 methylene groups, 1, 2, 3, 4 methylene groups, and then the last carbon has a CH3 group. Yes. So X is this, either second or fourth option is the correct answer. Let us look at this reaction. Sodium borohydride NaBH4 is a weak reducing agent, mild reducing agent. It can reduce ketone, but it cannot reduce carboxylic acid, which means that this will give carboxylic acid will remain as such and this will be reduced to alcohol. Now you remember alcohol and carboxylic acid in the same molecule, esterification. So this will lead to the formation of ester. You can try that, right? So basically what happens, this alcohol attacks here, right? So we will get this product. The major product of the following reaction, aqueous KOH, we are reacting with again. Haloarenes do not react via nucleophilic substitution easily. So we can assume that this Cl will be replaced by OH. CrO3, it's a moderately strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes primary alcohols to carboxylic acid and secondary alcohols to ketones. So we can assume that this CH2OH will be oxidized to carboxylic. And the next reaction, we are heating it with sulfuric acid. So basically it will generate a carbocation which will attack benzene ring, right? You can compare it with Friedel-Crafts acylation, but there are two possibilities. This COH group, it can attack here, but then there is chlorine here, right? Ortho, but it will attack here, right? Because here we have steric hindrance and here we don't have. So this ring will close here. So 1 atom, 2 atom, 3 atom, 4 atom, 5 atom, 6 atom. So 6 membered ring, and on the para from this side we have chlorine. So that makes it this the correct answer, right? Right? That is the correct answer. Then here the compound P can be. Okay, so there is a compound which is an amine. We are reacting it with excess of methyl iodide, which is Hofmann's exhaustive methylation followed by Hofmann elimination. So this must be a Hofmann alkene, that is a least stable alkene. Then we are carrying out ozonolysis followed by reductive cleavage, which is going to give us this, right? So I can write it as this. Right? C4H8O, I can write C3H7CHO, and this I can write like this. Okay. All right. So this is C3H7CH double bond CH2. So this is our alkene Q. Okay. Now, which of the amines can afford this alkene? So if you analyze all the options, then you will find that the second compound can afford this alkene, right? I'll show you how. It is pentane 2 amine, which is this. Alright, now Hofmann exhaustive methylation converts any amine into quaternary ammonium salt, right? So what happens if you react it with excess of CH3I, then what happens? You get here, right, NCH3 thrice. Okay. Now when you react it with sodium ethoxide, it is Hofmann elimination. So this is our tertiary amine, alpha position. Now there is beta 1 and beta 2, right? Always remember the quaternary ammonium salt, they give least stable alkene because they undergo Hofmann elimination. So we will get a double bond here, right? So we will get this. And yes, when this alkene undergoes ozonolysis, it leads to the formation of butanol and formaldehyde. So yes, the given information agrees with the second option, second compound. In which of the following arrangements the order is not according to the property indicated against it? It's very easy question. The correct answer is option 3. Here, yes, as the positive charge decreases, size increases, anions are larger. Boron has lower ionization enthalpy than carbon, which has lower than oxygen. There is an exception in nitrogen and oxygen because nitrogen has half-filled p subshell, which is more stable. So this makes an exception. This is also correct. Increasing electronegativity. Now electronegativity increases, right, as we move from bottom to top. So basically fluorine has a higher electronegativity than chlorine. There is no doubt about that. So this is not correct and hence the correct answer. Valency with respect to hydrogen, yes, LiH, CH2, ALH3, SiH4. So valency is increasing from 1 to 4. In an irreversible spontaneous process where system gains heat from surrounding, it absorbs heat, its entropy change should be positive. And Gibbs energy change is wow. So this is spontaneous, right? So Gibbs energy change delta G, it has to be negative, right? Because the process is spontaneous. So the correct answer is this. Which of the following is the strongest Bronsted base? The correct answer is this. Why? Because here the lone pair is involved in resonance, not so much available for donation. Here the lone pair is involved in aromatic sextet, least available for donation. This is pyrrole, right? This is tertiary amine and that is tertiary amine. But in this there is ring inversion, there is amine inversion taking place here. But because of the ring here, amine inversion is not possible, which makes the nitrogen lone pair more available for donation. So this is a stronger base. How many of the following drugs is an example of broad spectrum antibiotic? So chloramphenicol, ofloxacin, ampicillin, amoxicillin, a memory based question. 4 is the correct answer. When platinum metal dissolved in aqua regia, the oxidation states of platinum and nitrogen in the products are. So platinum when dissolved in aqua regia, it forms this. The oxidation number is +4 and nitrogen forms nitric oxide. Oxidation number is +2. So the sum of P and Q is 6. In how many reactions the paramagnetic gas is liberated? 3 reaction because lithium nitrate gives NO2, right, and O2. This gives MnCl2n chlorine gas, that gives N2O gas, KClO3 gives KCl and oxygen. So here also, right? Copper with concentrated sulfuric acid gives sulfur dioxide gas, which is diamagnetic, right? This ammonium nitrite, it gives nitrogen plus water, and then NaCl, none of them is paramagnetic, and this leads to the formation of nitric oxide, which has one unpaired electron and hence paramagnetic. So first, fourth and seventh. So there are 3 reactions in which a paramagnetic gas evolves. The number of molecules which are not planar but have zero dipole moment, right? So of course CCl4, it is tetrahedral, not planar, and has zero dipole moment. It qualifies the criteria. BF3 is planar, right? Trigonal planar. So it is not. SF6, yes, it's a regular octahedron. It is not planar, of course, but it is having zero dipole moment. So this also is there. SO2 is bent, right? And it is a polar molecule. BRF3 is also a polar molecule, bent T shape. XZF4 is planar and it has zero dipole moment, right? SCl4 has seesaw shape and it is polar. And this CN, right? So the correct answer is 2. All right. Then red phosphorus on reaction with alkaline solution of NaClO2 produce hypophosphoric acid, right? In the structure, number of pH bonds are K, number of PO bonds are L, number of POP bonds are M, and number of pOH bonds are N. So the molecule is hypophosphoric acid, which is H4P2O6, right? So the structure I'm writing here. Hypophosphoric acid is special because it has phosphorus-phosphorus bond, right? So this is H4P2O6. So number of pH bonds are K. We don't have any pH bond here, right? Number of PO bonds is L. Yes, we do have 2 phosphorus double bond oxygen. Number of POP bonds not there, so 0. And number of pOH bonds, yes, that is N, right? And this is M. So they are 4. So K plus N, right, which is 0 plus 4, minus L plus M, which is 2 plus 0. So of course that is going to be 2. It got it in somewhere. So the correct answer is 2, right? How many of the following alloys match with given major component metals in them? 5. The only problem is with bronze. Bronze contains copper as a major metal. Others are correct. The number of alkyl halides which react faster than ethyl chloride towards SN2. So remember, in SN2, smaller the alkyl halide, greater the reactivity, but there is benzyl halide, there is allyl halide which have sufficient reactivity in SN2. So first molecule is going to be this one, right? Because of the resonance stabilization of the transition state, right? Allyls, they are more reactive. Then this molecule also, it is benzyl again, right? See, the carbon to which the leaving group is attached, this carbon is joined to a pi system. So in the pentavalent transition state, this pi system will stabilize this carbon. And we also have a NO2 group which will make it more electrophilic and hence more reactive. And of course CH3Cl is a very reactive molecule. It is more reactive than CH3CH2Cl, right? So the number of molecules which react faster than ethyl chloride is 3. The number of correct statements in the following are 3 statements. Let's see which one. Among the allotropes of carbon, graphite is thermodynamically more stable, true. Most abundant inert gas in Earth's atmosphere is argon, true. Hydrogen peroxide can act as both oxidizing and reducing agent. Can act as oxidizing agent in both acidic and basic media, yes. In fact, hydrogen peroxide can act as both oxidizing and reducing agent in both acidic and alkaline medium. Aqueous solution of borax is acidic because of the formation of H3PO3. No, borax aqueous solution is actually alkaline, right? So this statement is not correct. In H2O2 structure, dihedral angle in gaseous phase is more than that in solid phase. So this is also not correct. How many of these can be found in photochemical smog? I think all of them, because first there is formation of NO, which is oxidized to NO2, then there is ozone, secondary pollutants, right? Formaldehyde, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and acrolein, right? So these are the molecules present in photochemical smog. Now moving to the last question, the number of compounds which are more acidic than ethanoic acid among the following are, so the total number of carboxylic acid that is more acidic is 6, right? Let's see which ones. So trichloroacetic acid is more acidic because the electron withdrawing group is there. Benzoic acid is more acidic because of the counter resonance. Formic acid is more acidic because it does not have any electron donating group. Oxalic acid is more acidic because an electron withdrawing group is joined to carboxylic, right? Here there is repulsion, right? If we remove H plus, then there is a lone pair repulsion and absence of resonance. So this is less acidic. This is more acidic because if we remove H plus, then there is an electron withdrawing group next to the carboxylate. And last part is interesting, 2,4,6-trinitrophenol picric acid. This is more acid because of the powerful electron withdrawing effect of 3 nitro groups, right? So this is actually data based. So this compound has been found a lower pK value as compared to ethanoic acid. So these are the 6 molecules which are more acidic than ethanoic acid. So that's all in this solution, guys. Thank you for watching.
Hi dear students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. Now let us see the mathematics part of this GTM 9 dated 19th Jan. Okay, you see the first question, here 2 statements are given, S1 and S2 is asking which of these are true or false kind of. You see the first statement, f is a function from closed AB to R defined by f of x is x minus a whole square into x minus b whole square plus x. It takes the value a plus b by 2 for some x belongs to a comma b. Friends, this is simple. Since it is a polynomial, f of x is continuous and differentiable, and f of a you just find, my dear friends, this is 0 which is a, f of b is going to be b here. So f is a function which is continuous and differentiable on closed AB, as well as, see, f of a is a, f of b is b. So we can say that f takes every value between f of a and f of b. So this is f takes every value between a and b. Undoubtedly a, b are different numbers, a plus b by 2 lies between these two, my dear friends. So definitely f takes the value a plus b by 2. That means there exists some number c such that f of c is equal to a plus b by 2. That is the meaning. So statement 1 is perfectly correct, my dear friends. Okay. Second statement, y is equal to g of x is defined on closed AB but continuous on open AB. It is not on closed AB. Be careful here. Then for any k belongs to g of a, g of b, there exists some c belongs to open AB such that g of c is k. This is correct when this is continuous on closed AB, but he said it is continuous on just open AB. For example, friends, if I take a function, suppose this is AB, so suppose this is the function which is continuous, but suppose f of a is here and f of b is here. So can it take every value between f of a and f of b? No, it is missing certain values in output, my dear friends. So this is why second statement is false, my dear friends. We can go with the option S1 is true and S2 is not true for every value of g is the right answer, my dear friends. Okay. Next, you see the second question, f is a function defined from -1 to 3 such that f of 1 is equal to 1. You see, f of 1 is 1, f of 3 is 3, my dear friends. So diagram is given here, and which of the following statements are true or is true? You see, limit extends to 1 minus f of x. 1 left side, the limit is approaching to the number 3, my dear friends, but it is given 1, so it is false. Limit extends to 2 f of x. You see, limit extends to 2 means 2 left hand limit is 1, right hand limit is also 1. So we don't bother about f of 2, my dear friends. So this does not exist is wrong, this exists and the limit is equal to 1. So this exists is the right answer, that is the thing. You just see third option also, limit extends to 3 f of x is not defined because limit extends to 3 plus is not defined. You see, left hand limit of 3 is 1, f of 3 is 3, right hand limit is not there. I am talking in the interval -1 to 3, when the function is not there on right side of 3, I don't bother about right hand limit, left hand limit itself the limit, it is not defined is wrong, my dear friends. This is why this is the only statement which is correct. It is completely concept based question. Next, my dear friends, the number of points on this hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is 1 from where mutually perpendicular tangents can be drawn to this circle. My dear friends, this is a circle with center 0 0 radius a. This is hyperbola with semi transverse axis as a, my dear friends. Now perpendicular tangents are to be drawn to the circle means the point of intersection of perpendicular tangents lie on the director circle. Director circle of this equation is x square plus y square is equal to 2a square, my dear friends, with the same center but radius will be root 2a. This is the one. Undoubtedly this circle is going to cut the hyperbola at 4 points, my dear friends. He is asking number of points of intersection of this is 4, my dear friends. He is asking number of such points. Okay, from this point if you could draw two tangents, the two tangents will be perpendicular because the point is there on the director circle. Since director circle radius is more than a, definitely it cuts the hyperbola. There are 2 points, here are 2 points, so 4 points is the answer. Next question, my dear friends, which of the following is always true? Given quadratic equation a, b, c are real numbers, one root is p plus root q, the other root is, he is saying p minus root q. Yes, it is correct provided PQ are rational numbers. We don't have that data, so this statement is false, my dear friends. Okay, one root is p plus root q. In that case, second root is its conjugate when coefficients are rationals, my dear friends. So second one, if exactly one of the root of this equation lies between k1 and k2, if f of k1 into f of k2 positive, we can't say, my dear friends. If f of k1 and f of k2 have opposite sign for a polynomial function, then it will have at least one real root or odd number of real roots, but both have same sign means it may have, may not have. So this is also a false statement. Next, my dear friends, a, b, c, d, e, f are positive real numbers and df minus e square positive, he said, which are there in this quadratic equation. Arey yaar, you just find delta for this, b square minus 4ac. You just see 4 into e square minus df, given e square minus df negative, so delta negative, my dear friends. So it is going to have imaginary roots which are conjugate to each other, but he said these two equations have one common root. So if they have one common root, since the coefficients are real, they must have second root also common. That means the equations have both the roots common, so I can say d by a is equal to 2e by 2b is equal to f by c. So this statement is correct. Next, my dear friends, this product of these equations is 0, has no real roots. We can't say because ABC and ADC are independent, my dear friends. So we can't say that. So we are sure that option 3 is the right answer. Next, friends, you see between A and B n arithmetic means are kept. Between A and B n geometric means are kept. Between same A and B n harmonic means are kept. He is asking about rth arithmetic mean, rth geometric mean, rth harmonic mean, kind of. You see, my dear friends, if n arithmetic means are kept, common difference is equal to b minus a by n plus 1, first point. Then if you want rth term, rth arithmetic mean, this is nothing but a plus r into d, my dear friends, because a plus d is a1, a plus 2d is a2, like this, which is a plus r into b minus a by n plus 1. You just simplify, my dear friends, you will get a into n plus 1 minus r plus r into b by n plus 1, my dear friends. That is what you got, a into n plus 1 minus r into rb by n plus 1. This is correct. In the same way, you apply for harmonic mean also, that is between 1 by A and 1 by B, 1 by H1, 1 by H2 and so on, 1 by Hn are n arithmetic means. You just apply the same, you will get third option correct. Moreover, my dear friends, fourth option is also correct, because suppose between A and B you have kept 3 arithmetic means, and between A and B you have kept 2 harmonic means H1, H2, H3. Then the result is A into B is A1 H3 is A2 H2 is A3 H1 is A into B. This result you might have known. Accordingly, here also A into B is equal to A1 Hn, sum of the suffixes n plus 1, A2 Hn minus 1, A3 Hn minus 2, like that, AR into Hn minus R plus 1. You observe the sum of the suffixes, which is n plus 1 is equal to AB. Fourth is also correct. So, second is wrong. You know friends, the logic is simple. Why second is wrong? So, you want GR. You see here, my dear friends, when these are in GP, common ratio R is B by A power 1 by n plus 1. This is the common ratio, because B is going to be n plus second term. So, you want GR. GR is nothing but first term A into second term is AR, third term is AR square, like this. So, you can say, my dear friends, so G1 is AR, G2 is AR square, G3 is AR cube, GR is AR, okay, you take GK otherwise, R power K, where R is the common ratio. So, you can also write, suppose GR is equal to A into R means here common ratio B by A power K by n plus 1, my dear friends. Yeah, that is the thing. This is nothing but R, my dear friends. If you feel it as K, this is K. If you feel it as R, this is R, because R I replaced by B by A. You just simplify, my dear friends. It is not going to be this option. So, this option is false. He asked about the incorrect option, my dear friends. Simple. Okay. Next, you see, f of x graph is given. You need to find 1 by f of x graph. This is simple, friends. At 1 this is 0, 1 left side, just left side, the function is almost positive 0, its reciprocal must be at infinity. So, this is possible, that this is not possible, this is possible, because 1 left side it should be at plus infinity, 1 right side it is slightly negative 0. So, the limit, the function must be at minus infinity. Here it is minus infinity, okay, this is also okay, this is wrong, this is anyhow done, here it is also done. So, these two are eliminated. In these two, my dear friends, you just see at 3 left hand limit it is going to be minus infinity, right side should be plus infinity. You see, it failed here. 3 right side it should be at plus infinity, you see, it is okay. So, first option is the right answer, my dear friends. Moreover, you can say here negative numbers reciprocal, you are going to get negative itself. Okay. Next, you see this question, my dear friends, which of the following is true? If mod f of x is continuous on closed AB, then the function f must be continuous on open AB. Arey yaar, needn't be. Suppose f of x you take like, say 1 if x is rational, minus 1 if x is irrational. You just take mod f of x, which is f of x, mod f of x is 1 for all x belongs to R, which is continuous, whereas f is continuously discontinuous, nowhere continuous. So, first statement is absolutely false. Coming to second statement, for every continuous function f of x and g of x on open 0 to infinity such that f of x less than g of x, for all x positive, limit extends to f of x and limit extends to g of x as extends to infinity exist, then limit extends to infinity f of x less than limit extends to infinity g of x. You see, my dear friends, one function you take x, other function you take x square, clearly x less than x square. But as extends to infinity, this limit exists which is infinity, this limit also exists which is infinity. I can't say infinity less than infinity. So, this statement is invalid, my dear friends. Next, third one, both the functions f of x and g of x are continuous at x is equal, discontinuous at x is equal to a. So, f of x into g of x is always discontinuous. Needn't be, my dear friends. Suppose f of x you take like 1 if x is rational, minus 1 if x is irrational. G of x you take like, you see, minus 1 if x is rational, 1 if x is irrational, my dear friends. Both are discontinuous at some point, any point you take a. So, but f into g is standard, it is minus 1 which is continuous. So, f into g is also discontinuous is a false statement, my dear friends. So, 1, 2, 3 are false. I just want the true statement. So, go with the fourth option. You see what is he saying? For every continuous monotonic function f of x and g of x, then their sum need not be monotonic. Correct, friends. Continuous, I mean monotonic plus monotonic need not be monotonic. The best example is y is equal to x is increasing function, y is equal to minus x cube is decreasing function on R, but their sum is x minus x cube is not monotonic because its derivative is 1 minus 3x square, which becomes positive in some cases, negative in some cases. So, my dear friends, this need not be monotonic is the right answer. So, fourth option is the right answer, friends. Next, you just see this question, f of x, g of x, two quadratic expressions are given, the graph is shown in the figure. Given a dash length, this length is equal to, let me take another color, a dash length is equal to bb dash, this length is equal to this length, and OA dash, this distance is equal to OB, this distance. Okay. Now, sum of the roots of f of x is 0, g of x is 0. My dear friends, for the first equation, what is sum of the roots? Minus b by a, that is minus 2a by 1, minus 2a is the root, and the graph turns at minus b by 2a, that is minus b by 2 into 1 minus a. Undoubtedly, this number is minus a. Since this length is equal to this length, it is going to be a, my dear friends. Since it has turned at a, you can see this root is say a plus k, this root is say a minus k. So, sum of these two roots is 2a, we got one answer, this part. Now, whereas, my dear friends, here it has imaginary roots. Suppose one root say alpha plus I beta, second root is alpha minus I beta, the sum is going to be 2 alpha. Friends, one thing I can say here the graph is going to turn at 2 alpha, my dear friends. Sum of the roots actually according to the equation minus b by a, minus 2a is going to be the sum of the roots, which is 2 alpha, my dear friends. So, he is asking sum of the roots is nothing but minus 2a here, you needn't to take 2a. Here sum of the roots is minus 2a, here sum of the roots is 2a, therefore the total sum is going to be 0, my dear friends, it is going to be 0. Let me explain, my dear friends. You see, first of all this is a, so this is a plus k, a minus k, their sum is 2a. For the second equation, sum of the roots is minus b by a, that is minus 2a. So, minus 2a plus 2a will become 0. Next, friends, you see this equation, the parallelogram as shown in the figure a different from b, the equation of the diagonal BD. My dear friends, you can take like this is line 1, line u1, u4. So, u1 into u4 gives, my dear friends, a pair of straight lines connecting these two, and u1, this is u3 into u2 gives another pair of equations. So, this is one second degree curve, this is another second degree curve. So, let me consider any curve passing through the point of intersection of these two, my dear friends, is equal to 0. So, undoubtedly this line also passes through the point of intersection of these two. So, you just simplify, this should be a line now, just u1 into u4 plus lambda into u2 into u3 you write. So, x square coefficient must be 0 because it should be a line, y square coefficient 0, xy coefficient 0, if you could make, you are going to get lambda is equal to minus 1. So, the answer is u1 u4 minus u2 u3 is equal to 0. Next, friends, first you do this question, then we will go to this question. You see the expression in which the vector from the point r1 bar of, you see, from the point r1 bar of intersection of the plane, the expression in the vector form for the point r1 bar. The point is r1 bar, which is of intersection of this plane and the perpendicular line. Okay. There is a line, my dear friends, which is passing through r0 and n cap is the normal director, n bar is the normal director. So, this is a line which is perpendicular to this plane, that means normal DRs are like, and this plane is passing through r1 bar. Now, he is asking the expression in the vector form for the point r1, my dear friends. Once again, let me tell you, the expression in the vector form of the point r1 of intersection of this line and this plane. What is this plane? R bar dot n bar is equal to d bar. Okay. So, this point of intersection is r1 bar, my dear friends. So, about this line, you know the normal vector, that means drs of this vector, as well as you know a point. One thing I can say, my dear friends, r1 bar minus r0 bar, if you take this vector, definitely it is some lambda into n bar. Am I correct? Because this vector must be parallel to n bar. So, you can write, my dear friends, r1 bar is equal to r0 plus lambda n bar. If you could find lambda, it is done, but r1 bar is there in this plane. So, substitute r bar plus lambda n bar into dot n bar is equal to d. Apply, friends. R bar dot n bar plus lambda into magnitude of n bar square is equal to d. So, lambda value is nothing but d minus r bar dot n bar by magnitude of n bar square. This is lambda, my dear friends. So, I can say here the answer is finally r1 bar is equal to r0 plus this lambda into n bar. You see, r1 bar is equal to r0 plus d minus r0 bar n bar by n bar square into this particular n bar will be lambda, you can replace by this. So, first option is the right answer. Now, coming back to this question, the image of the point with position vector a bar in the plane, you see the same logic, my dear friends. So, image of the point a bar about this plane. So, that means first you need to find the foot of the perpendicular. You know this point, this particular plane equation's normal dr is n bar, my dear friends, and it is like d. So, if you just like previous case, you are going to get foot of the perpendicular like you can say a bar plus you can see like you see d bar d minus, you see in the previous case we have derived, this is going to be this case d minus r bar dot n bar. So, we can say this is d minus a bar dot n bar by n bar magnitude square into n bar, my dear friend. This is the foot of the perpendicular. Now, once you know foot of the perpendicular, image is nothing but double of this and subtract. Double of this means multiply this with 2, because midpoint of these two is this, that is 2a bar and 2 here minus a bar. Finally, you are going to get a bar plus twice of d bar minus, you can write a bar plus twice of d bar d minus a bar dot n bar by magnitude of n bar square into n bar. That is all, my dear friends. Simple logic it is. Next, you see this question, L1 equal to 0 be a focal chord of the parabola y square is equal to 4ax. This is y square is equal to 4ax. Suppose this is directrix, this is some focal chord, say yes, say PQ. Okay. L is equal to 0 be the focal chord of the parabola. L1 is equal to 0 meets the parabola at L and M. So, these are going to be L and M. Okay. So, the tangents at L and M intersect N. Friends, you know one result, the tangents drawn at the ends of any focal chord will be perpendicular. So, they are going to intersect on the directrix, my dear friends. So, I can say here, they are going to intersect on directrix. That means, my dear friends, like this. they are going to intersect on directrix. So, we can say n lie on the directrix is the correct answer. Second one is, you know, 1 by SL plus 1 by SM. You know this result when you take a focal chord in any conic, 1 by SP plus 1 by SQ is 2 by L. 2 by L is semi-lattice rectum. Here lattice rectum is 4A, semi-lattice rectum is 2A. So, which is 1 by A is the answer. But he has given 2 by A. So, S3 is false, my dear friends. And S2 is angle NML. So, even though here angle 90 degrees will not be correct, you can check, my dear friends. Next, focus is the foot of the perpendicular from N to L1, correct friends. You just find, so NS will be perpendicular to LM, my dear friend. The logic is simple. If you take this as A T1 square comma 2A T1, this is A T2 square comma 2A T2, and focus is A comma 0, and point of intersection of the tangent drawn at T1 T2 is A into T1 plus T2 comma A T1 T2 comma A into T1 plus T2. My dear friends, here since it is a focal chord T1 T2 is minus 1, this becomes minus A, my dear friends. Here you just find the slope of NS and you just find the slope of LM. You just find that they are going to be perpendicular. So, this statement is correct. Out of these 4, how many statements are correct? He is asking. 2 statements are correct, first and last. Okay. Next, my dear friends, 2 statements are correct. Next, probability of n heads in 2n tosses of a fair coin is P, then P cannot be. My dear friends, when 2n tosses of a fair coin, total number of cases will be 2 power 2n, and the probability of heads in 2n tosses of a fair coin is P, n heads. So, out of 2n cases, when a coin is tossed 10 times, if you want 3 heads, 10C3 is the number of cases. Here 2nCn is the number of cases where you will get exactly n heads. So, this is going to be 2nCn by 2 power 2n is correct. He said cannot be. So, even friends, you know sigma r is equal to 0 to n NCR whole square, C naught square plus C1 square is 2n Cn, this is going to be 2 power 2n, sum of all binomial quotients. So, this is also correct. Now, my dear friends, what is the meaning of this? 1 by 2 into 3 by 4 into 5 by 6 into and so on 2n minus 1 by, this is 2n, my dear friends. You just supply here 2, 4, 6 and so on 2n in the numerator and denominator. Numerator becomes 2n factorial. Denominator, out of these all there are n even numbers, 2 times n can be taken out. Same n even numbers you can take 2 power n common, you will get n factorial into n factorial. You see, my dear friends, this is 2n Cn by 2 power 2n. Perfect, my dear friends. 4 is also correct. You just expand this, you won't find this. So, he is asking not, cannot be second option. Okay. Next, my dear friends, suppose g of a is equal to 0, then the function f of x is f of x by g of x has vertical asymptote at the point x is equal to a. Arey yaar, you just take the function sin x by x. So, this is the one at x is equal to 0, it is not defined, but it won't have any vertical tangent. So, first statement is, you see, then the function has vertical tangent is wrong because it tends to 1, it won't go to infinity. Next, if g of a is 0, where fg are polynomial, then have a vertical asymptote at x is equal to a. Needn't be, friends. You take the polynomial by polynomial, x square minus 4 by x minus 2, we get the denominator goes to 0. As x tends to 0, my dear friends, you can see x minus 2 gets cancelled, you will get x plus 2, my dear friends, x plus 2. As you give, so we can say vertical asymptote at x is equal to a needn't be, friends. So, both the statements are not correct. S is not correct and S2 is also not correct, my dear friends. Next, you see A, B, C, D are 4 vectors, then you know the definition which is not equal to, you know, we write like A dot C, A dot D, B dot C, B dot D. This question is purely based on definitions. A dot C into B dot D, you just see A dot C into B dot D minus B dot C into A dot D, perfect, but minus is there in between. So, he skipped minus, so you are, this is not true, this is false. You can check others by just writing the definitions, my dear friends, you will know that this is not equal to that. Okay. Next, yeah, integral a to b f of x dx greater than or equal to 0, then f of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all a b is absolutely wrong. You just take, my dear friends, sin x graph 0 to, you can say pi plus pi by 3, integral 0 to pi plus pi by 3 is 4 pi by 3. It is going to be positive, my dear friends. It does not mean that f of x is always positive. So, this he said then f of x is greater than or equal to 0 is absolutely false. Next, my dear friends, if S2 is a function g of x is defined for x belongs to closed a b, integral a to b mod g of x exists, then integral a to b g of x exists. You see, f is a function defined on every x belongs to a b, integral a to b mod g of x exists, then what can you say about this? May not be, friends. Why don't you take g of x as a function like 1 if x is rational, direct length function, minus 1 if x is irrational, my dear friends. Undoubtedly mod g of x is 1 which is exists, and f g of x, if you take a to b, it fluctuates, oscillates between minus 1 and 1, we cannot give the integral. Okay. Next, my dear friends, you see, now you need to write the equivalency. Negation of p by implies q means you can remove the brackets, you can put negation to any of these. So, this is equivalent to p by implies q is correct. And next, my dear friends, negation of p by implies negation q when it is equivalent to p by implies q, which is true sometimes, it is false sometimes, tautology is false. So, statement 1 is true, my dear friends, whereas statement 2 is false. Yeah, this is the one. Next, you can say, you see this complex number related question, suppose z is equal to x plus iy, my dear friends. So, mod z square means x square plus y square, and here alpha is a complex number, alpha bar z plus alpha z bar whole bar, which is alpha bar z whole bar plus alpha z bar whole bar, right. This is going to be alpha z bar plus alpha bar z. Can I write it as alpha z plus alpha z whole bar, alpha z bar whole bar? Can I write alpha z bar plus alpha z bar whole bar? Yes. So, my dear friends, here you can also write like z plus z bar it is. So, this is going to be 2 real part of alpha z bar. So, z plus z bar is 2 real part of alpha z bar. Now, coming to the question, mod z square will become x square plus y square. This is going to be alpha z bar. Suppose alpha is p plus iq, my dear friends. P plus iq into z bar is x minus iy. What is its real part? xp plus qy, my dear friends. So, this is px plus qy it is. Px plus qy is this, plus d is equal to 0. Array yaar, this is the circle equation. So, undoubtedly the center is, you see, minus pi by 3 to minus q by 2, and the radius is going to be, my dear friends, yeah, this is going to be, if represents a circle, g square, that is p by 2 whole square plus f square, which is q by 2 whole square, greater than or equal to AC, A is 1, C is D. So, p square plus q square greater than or equal to, I can say, yeah friends, p square plus q square greater than or equal to, I can say this. You see, this one, center is minus p by 2 minus q by 2, radius is, you see, this is going to be root g square plus f square minus AC, my dear friends, minus AC means D. Okay. This is the circle equation. So, this is AZ square is there, my dear friends, I forgot. So, greater than or equal to AC is AD, my dear friends. So, I can say that, so this is, we can say here AX square plus you can also say ay square plus px plus qy plus you can say, yeah my dear friends, this is going to be 2 real part of this, 2 already 2 is there friends, 2 is there. This is px, 2 real part of this, real part is this into 2 is there. So, 2px plus 2qy. So, the center is going to be minus p minus q. So, radius is going to be p square plus q square minus d greater than or equal to 0. P square plus q square you can write like mod alpha square, minus ac, no, ad will become mod alpha square greater than or equal to ad. Because my dear friends, if a general second degree equation represents a circle, if xy term is absent and p square plus q square greater than or equal to ac, right. So, that is what I have applied. So, mod alpha square greater than or equal to, I can say ad, my dear friends, third option. Next my dear friends, f of x and g of x are two differential functions up to any order. F of x, g of x are inverse of each other. So, g of x is outside, why do not you take g of f of x is x? I just want f double dash, you just take the derivative friends, g dash of f of x into f dash x is equal to 1. So, why do not you take the derivative like g dash of f of x is equal to 1 by f dash of x. So, you just take the derivative again, u g dash of f of x, u derivative of v plus v g dash of f of x, my dear friends. You can take here like, yeah, you just take the derivative carefully. So, its derivative, first of all g, second derivative, g double dash of f of x into f dash x is equal to 1 by x derivative minus 1 by x square into f dash x derivative is f double dash of x. Yes my dear friends. So, you can say now this one I want, this is minus f double dash x by f dash x cube whole cube, that is it, this is the answer. Next my dear friends, you see S1, a function always has a local maximum between any two local minima. So friends, this may be possible when the graph is continuous. Between any two local minima, it won't have a local maximum, needn't have unless it is continuous. He didn't mention that it is continuous, so this is correct my dear friends. Always has a local maximum between any two local minima is false, because it won't have, needn't have. Best example is this, it is having two local minima, so it is not going to have local maxima, right. Next my dear friends, every continuous and bounded function minus infinity to second statement, you see a function f defined on closed AB, continuous on open AB, then it takes extreme values on closed AB. I have already told. So since continuous on open AB means, so you see you just take some function a to b, it is continuous. So a function is defined on closed AB and continuous on closed AB, that means f of a, f of b may be somewhere, okay. Then it takes extreme values on closed AB, it may or may not take my dear friends, because you see, so sometimes the function is defined on closed AB, you see continuous on open AB means, so f of a, f of b may be somewhere, so it extreme value, maybe these are extreme values, it may not take certain values my dear friends. So this is also false. Next my dear friends, every continuous and bounded function on minus infinity to infinity takes on its extreme values, okay. Yeah, the number of statements among S1, S2, S3 which are always true. You see every continuous and bounded function on minus infinity to infinity takes on its extreme values. Array, you just take the function y is equal to x, and he said every continuous and bounded function, you have to take a bounded function on minus infinity to infinity, yeah, it takes on its extreme value, maybe, right. The graph is continuous and bounded in between any two fixed numbers. So and it takes its extreme values, definitely, because the graph is continuous, it is possible. Okay. Next, my dear friends, you see, coming to numerical answer type questions, V1 be the variance of 2002 observations which are in AP, with first term 2022, common difference 2022. Arey yaar, if n numbers are given in AP with common difference d, standard deviation is d into root of n square minus 1 by 12, my dear friends. So variance is going to be d square into n square minus 1 by 12. This is the one, right? Now, in the first case and second case, common difference is the same. First and the number of first term may be vary, but common difference is 2022, 2022. D same, number of terms same, and what not. They are going to be equal. So he said V1 is to V2 is m is to 1, that is 1 is to 1, my dear friends, 1 is to 1. So the common GCD of mn is 1, so m plus n is going to be 2, my dear friends. Okay. Next, you see this question. So delta 1 be the area of triangle PQ are inscribed in the ellipse, this, and delta be the area of triangle P dash Q dash R dash whose vertices are the points lying on the auxiliary circle. Friends, you can take the general point on it as A cos theta, B sin theta kind of. So whereas the second circle, auxiliary circle means x square plus y square is equal to a square, you can take the general point comma A cos theta comma A sin theta. Yes, this is the one. So my dear friends, he is asking, the area of delta 1 be the area of triangle PQR inscribed in an ellipse. So this is the standard ellipse. So this is the one, my dear friends. So the points will be A cos theta, B sin theta, A cos theta to B sin theta 2. You know, its area will be half modulus. You can say with A cos theta, B sin theta 1, like this it is going to be, my dear friends, area. So here you can take A common from the first column, B common from the second column, you are going to get half mod AB into determinant is going to be area of the, you see, triangle PQR. Coming to delta 2 related triangle P dash Q dash R dash, auxiliary circle means both the points will be like A cos theta, you can say A sin theta, B will become A auxiliary circle. So A sin theta means this becomes half A square into this you are going to get. This is going to be delta 1, my dear friends, this is delta 2. Okay. I want the eccentricity of the ellipse. You just find delta 2 by delta 1, my dear friends. Delta 2 by delta 1 is going to be, you can say, my dear friends, A by B, A by B. Okay. Now eccentricity of the ellipse is square root of, this is given, eccentricity is B square is equal to A square into 1 minus E square. So here it is B square, we can say, so B square by A square is equal to 1 minus E is going to be, you can say, 4 root 3, that is 48 by 49, which is B by A is also 1 by 7. So A by B he is asking about delta 2 by delta 1, that means it is going to be B by A 1 by 7. So A by B is going to be, my dear friends, we can say 7 is the answer. 7 is the answer. Okay. Next, my dear friends, this is the standard result, the area of the triangle whose vertices are Z1, Z2, Z3, this K becomes 4, my dear friends, standard result, because you know how to find area of a triangle. Next, my dear friends, in a matrix of order n by n, det of adjoint 3 times means det A power n minus 1 power 3, the number of times adjoint repeats that comes in the power. So K value is going to be 3, my dear friends. Yes. Next, if H be the orthocenter of the triangle ABC inscribed in a circle, you see, with some radius 2, H is, here my dear friends, H be the orthocenter of the triangle, find ABC, with center h comma k, radius 2, my dear friends. Now, if the image of h with respect to BC, my dear friend, the resultant properties of triangle that we observe is the image of this h about x axis, that means about BC will lie on the circumcircle, my dear friends, h dash you can call. So, he is asking SG, where S is the circumcenter. So, here in this particular, so suppose h is here, this is circumcenter, circumcenter to h plus 1, yeah, he is asking SG, right. So, he named this point as, yeah, the image of h with respect to BC is G, this is G. So, SG is going to be, yeah, right my dear friends. You see, simple, the image of orthocenter about any side lies on the circumference of the circle. You know this is going to be, I can say friends, this is circumcenter, circumcenter to any point on, this is circle. So, its radius is circumradius. So, circumradius is going to be KSG, my dear friends, which is, S is the center of the this, yes, this is circumradius. He has given circumradius is going to be 2 square, my dear friends. So, SG is equal to 2, that is it. Next, my dear friends, the coefficient of x power n minus 2, or here you can apply sigma. Why do, the answer is independent of n, why do not you take x is equal 1, 2, 3 here, so that if you multiply x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6 equal to 0, this is the equation. So, you can say, my dear friends, when n is 3, my dear friends, yeah, this is going to be the equation. The coefficient of x power n minus 2 is 11, my dear friends. So, in this equation put n is equal to 11, so that, yeah, n is equal to 3 you substitute, you have to get 11, my dear friends, yeah, you have to get 11. So, you just substitute, we have taken 3 terms, right my dear friends, yeah, you just substitute, you are going to get G is going to be, I can say 24 something you are going to get. You can put n is equal to 3, 3 into 8 into, this is 9 plus 2, 11 by G is equal to 11. Okay. So, friends, I can say these two get cancelled, G is equal to 24, right. Next, my dear friends, yeah, in a two-sided regular polygon, any even number of sided polygon if you take, suppose hexagon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he wants number of right angle triangles that can be joined whose vertices are vertices of this parallelogram. Friends, whenever you take one of the diagonals of this kind, this becomes, my dear friends, we can say it is going to be diameter. Now, you can choose any point here, you will get a right angle triangle, here it is a right angle triangle, like that, my dear friends. So, for every choice you will get 4 right angle triangles, my dear friends. How many you can choose? So, you can choose n because there are 2 to no pairs. So, n ways you can choose the line segment, and that you are going to get for each one. So, for this how many triangles you have drawn? So, in fact total are 2n are there, 2 are gone, 2n minus 2 are there. Out of these 2n minus 2, my dear friends, half will be this side, half will be this side. You can join any side, my dear friends. So, out of 2n minus 2 you can join to this. So, n into 2n minus 2, that is 2n into n minus 1 is the answer. So, I can say this k value is 2, my dear friends. Okay. Next, you see the answer is independent of theta, you can just simplify, or why do not you put theta is 0, 1, this is cos 60 is 1 by 2 whole square, 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, which is 2 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 2, my dear friends. If you put k is 3 by 2, your answer is 6. Okay. Next, you see this question, when x less than minus 1, okay. So, why do not you put x is equal to tan theta here, my dear friends, sin inverse of 2 tan theta by 1 plus tan square theta will become sin 2 theta is equal to k pi minus tan inverse of tan theta. My dear friends, when x is less than minus 1, you see when x is less than minus 1, I have taken x is equal to tan theta. So I can say, my dear friends, x less than minus 1 means tan theta less than minus 1. In the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, it is less than minus 1 means minus pi by 2 to pi by 4 only theta value. But 2 theta means, if you want, so for tan theta minus pi by 2 to pi, it is theta itself. So you can write it as k pi minus theta. 2 theta will be minus pi 2. I can say, my dear friends, pi by 2, minus pi by 2. So sin inverse of sin x graph minus pi by 2 to, this is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. You can say this is the one. Tan theta less than minus 1 means minus pi by 2 to minus pi by 4, my dear friends. So this is theta, this is correct, minus pi to minus pi by 2. So this is minus pi by 2, this is minus pi, my dear friends. The graph is, it comes like this, x minus 0 minus x plus add this number minus pi, minus x minus pi. X is 2 theta, my dear friends. So minus pi minus 2 theta is going to be, you can say, k pi minus 2 is there here. So 2 theta. 2 theta got cancelled, k value is minus 1, my dear friends. If you put k is minus 1, 3 minus of minus 1 is 4. 4 is the answer. Okay. Next, my dear friends, this is simple, friends. Consider d square x by dy square, which is d by dy of dx by dy, my dear friends, which you can write d by dy of 1 by dy by dx, because we are familiar with dy by dx. This I want to take derivative with respect to x, d by dx of 1 by dy by dx into, you write dx by dy, my dear friends. So here 1 by x derivative minus 1 by x square into its derivative with respect to x is d square y by dx square into dx by dy, you can write 1 by dy by dx, my dear friends. So now this expression, bring this ahead, plus d square y by dx square into dx by dy whole cube equal to 0. This k value is going to be 1, my dear friends. Okay, that's all about this paper, my dear friends. Mostly conceptual questions are given in this. It's a simple paper. This we can definitely score undoubtedly out of 100. Some student, I guess, they will definitely get 100. Okay, easy paper it is.